Hey, this is Big Country Cadman Turner, and you're listening to Talk Solid Wrestling.
Man, it has been too long, but it is so good to see you again. Cadman Turner, Big Country, as Rock Solid Wrestling fans probably remember him. Welcome to Talk Solid Wrestling, man. I think I'm going to start with the question I think a lot of people have been wondering. Where have you been, man? We've missed you. What have you been up to since we last saw you in Rock Solid Wrestling?
It's thank you for having me to start off with, but I have been busy outside of the ring. I've got two kids now, so they are keeping me very busy. So I'm not wrestling as much as I used to. The kids sort of dampen my wrestling dream. No, they don't dampen it at all, but it's just becomes harder. I sort of lost a lot of, being very honest, I sort of lost a lot of momentum around COVID. Once that all went away, I slowed right down, to be very honest. So my time at Rock Solid Wrestling was great. I loved it. We went to some pretty cool places, went to some very northern places, which I probably would never have gone to if I wasn't wrestling. So it was a great time. I really enjoyed my experience at Rock Solid. It was a great time.
Big Country has become Big Daddy, ladies and
Big
gentlemen.
Daddy, Big
And
Daddy Cat.
and I'm sure he's really happy in that new role as well. I have to ask, what right now is the best part about being a dad for you? What do you love the most?
I'm stealing Daddy Davis's gimmick for a start, but
Grudge match down the line. Let's book
uh,
it, people. Come
if
on.
if management want to book it, I'm here. No, so the best part about being dad is like my daughter, she's nearly 5 now, so um, it's been it's just fun. Like it's just fun watching her grow up. It's also sad as well. It's like because she's not a kid anymore, a little baby, and it's that part of it's tough, and I don't like seeing that. But like also seeing her like blossom and like become a person is like the best part. And now my son, he's just about 6 months old, so he's still in the very much doesn't need me world. But but it's good. Like the household dynamic has changed quite a lot, having the extra body around. But um, it's great. We keep busy. We're able to keep busy. And like we still do a lot of stuff. Like I still do a lot of stuff like outside of parenting, which has been good. I'm not one of the parents that, not that there's anything wrong with this, but like I'm not one of the parents that, being a parent is the only thing. You have to have your own sort of interests and hobbies outside of it. And wrestling, like I don't miss wrestling as much as I did when I'm not wrestling, but when I'm at wrestling, I'm like, wow, like I'm making a comeback here. Like this is gonna be the comeback of the century, but not to be, not yet.
You get that itch when you're around it,
You
right?
do, and like when it's like just with the rock solid, like all the rock solid, like I never had a poorly. There was never a poor house like at rock solid. Like it was always solid, pun intended. But like it was the venues are always full, no matter where we went. So I missed those type of shows. Any of the wrestlers will tell you they've done some stinkers of shows when there's 18 people in the audience. I don't miss them in any way. But I do miss like those full full venue shows where it's like it's the real thing at that point. Like the crowd reacts as a real crowd, um, not just like scared to clap because there's only a handful of people in the building. It's like when you have two, three, 400, like more people in the crowd. Nothing hurts at that point for us, and it just becomes easier because like the crowd do what you want them to do very easily. So they're the things that I miss. Like when I'm there, it's like yeah, like I said, when like the idea of it, I don't miss. But once I'm there, I miss it. I miss it a lot. Like you never miss, you never lose the bug. You never lose the bug of it, which is
I
what I found.
I think people who are outside of the business don't always understand that it is a little bit addictive. And it
Totally addictive.
the best way to
Yeah.
explain it, or the way that I've explained it to people, is there is a certain magic about pro wrestling crowds, but specifically rock solid wrestling crowds, in that there is a magic that the people still believe in. when they're watching it. And that's the best way that I can describe it. But I know what you're talking about, even though I don't get that from a performer standpoint. I just get it from a guy sitting at the curtain getting ready to do the next matchup, but it's being absorbed in that space with the crowd and they're feeling it and believing in it, and being a part of that is very addicting. I can't even imagine the high that comes from being in the ring when it's happening, when you're making the magic and you're getting people to react like that, which is absolutely nuts. So I understand the idea
Yeah,
of being around it is makes it harder to throw it away.
I think wrestling is the greatest thing. I honestly believe it's the best form of entertainment out there. Um, because it's so interesting. We're at a friend's condo and WWE, yes, but like we're just watching some. I can't remember what the match was, but it's like like they're like this is so stupid. Why are we watching this? It doesn't make any sense. And then by the end of it, they're like, wait, why did he hit his partner? Like, what is going on here? Like, so it's like that stuff that is what makes it so good because even like non-fans become fans. And what you're saying there is so true because it's like I personally love when you put it together, when you're putting the match together, and then you do it, and then it works how you envisioned. That is the best. Like that is like there's no better feeling than that because my last show that I did, it was like I was just laying on the mat and just looking up at looking up at the lights. I got pinned, unfortunately, but the story of my life. I think every single match I lost at Rock Solid. So it's when you're laying there and you're just hearing everyone reacting how you want them to react, you're like this is it. Like nothing really gets better. And the thing about wrestling fans is once a wrestling fan, you're always a wrestling fan. You never lose it. So like all these people are like, oh, I don't watch wrestling anymore, but I remember when, Hulk Hogan was doing whatever, and you're like, yeah, like so you're a fan. Like, and then then they'll watch it, and it's and me being a wrestler now, I'm in like the corporate world, all that sort of boring corporate. Um, it's the easiest icebreaker for me. Like being in a corporate setting, they're like, oh, so like tell us one interesting fact about you. Like I'm a pro wrestler, and everyone double takes because they don't, and then they see the size of me, like, oh, it kind of makes sense.
I don't know if I've told the story here. I've told it many, many other places, but the best part of touring with Rock Solid and being the ring announcer is that inevitably after every show we do, somebody will approach me and tell me that they are not a fan of pro wrestling, that they are here either supporting the charities that we are working with or that their kids like it, but they had a wonderful time and that they hope that we come back again so that they can come back and see us again. And to me, that is the greatest compliment in the world when you can take somebody who's not from our world and show them it and get them engaged in it. So I relate to that exactly what you're saying there. The sitting with people who are non-fans and bringing them into that world. There is something about pro wrestling, man. It is Shakespeare for the masses, as we've heard.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful thing for sure. I want to go back to something you said moments ago, which was that you're now in the corporate world. Cadman has gone corporate. Corporate Cadman. Look,
That's
man, we've already come up with two new gimmicks for you. You
right.
get you're gonna have to make a comeback at some point. Uh, how has pro wrestling prepared you for the corporate world? Is there anything you feel like you've taken from the world of pro wrestling and molded it into the corporate world, or just little lessons that you've taken from it and applied?
Absolutely everything, everything, everything from wrestling translate into my real life. It's crazy. It's like when I first started wrestling, I don't know, like 13, 14 years ago, whatever it was. You're thinking I'm learning this random skill that's not going to apply to anything else. But then it's so wrong. Yeah, like I'm obviously not taking bumps at work, but it's just like the psychology of things, um, like how to position things in ways to it's politicking. So it's like how to position way things to sort of like get your own way, sort of thing. Um, talking promos are the best. Like my job is I talk to people, so um, like being able to talk to someone and tell a story all came from wrestling. Everything, everything. So I credit wrestling for my entire life, pretty much. Like it's crazy. I'm never not going to be grateful for wrestling because of like what it taught me. Like just how to like when I started, I was 20, I think 20 when I started. So it was like no clue like how to be professional or anything like that. And it's like, yeah, wrestling, like we're doing this weird thing, but like there's still sort of like this hierarchy of like respect and meeting the veterans and shaking hands and all that sort of stuff and being polite and being heard but also not overstepping boundaries, all that sort of stuff. So that translate total 100%. 100%. Everything that I do now is through wrestling.
Do you ever find yourself having to pull back on a promo against a coworker, just being like, you feel like Big Country's coming out at some point, and then you have to like rein it in?
Luckily, I work remote, so luckily I work from home. I don't have to deal with that. When I get too mad, I just click end on Zoom.
So then, of course, that leads me to the next question, which is, have your coworkers had a chance to see some of your work in Rock Solid Wrestling on the various streaming platforms that we provide, or perhaps on
They have.
rocksolidfanclub.ca, if I may plug really quickly?
No, they have. I think I can't remember which town we're in. It was when Tito Santana came in, and I wrestled Cody Deaner, and him and Tito Santana and Cody Deaner ended up like doing like the ping pong with me, and then once again I ended up getting pinned because of Tito Santana. But I've shown that clip. I've shown that clip quite a lot, especially to older wrestling fans. Like, oh, I used to watch in the '80s and that sort of stuff. So you pull up a clip of Tito Santana, and they're like, oh, like they start loving it. So I've definitely showed that clip a few times.
I know that fans,
I skip out the part where I get DDT'd, but
yeah, we'll highlight the positives and
yeah,
hide the negatives. That's not what
yeah,
every good pro wrestler does for sure.
yeah.
I know that fans listening to this will, come after me if I don't ask, what was it like working with Tito Santana? What was your experience?
It's just weird. Like it's so surreal. Wrestling is so surreal. It's obviously Tito Santana is much older, like the generation before, probably two generations before me. Um, but obviously, as probably everyone watching this knows, everyone in the business knows, everyone has seen everything. Like I've seen most of the '80s. The most because like once the network came out, you could always go back and watch this stuff. So like I'd go back. I'll just be watching Tito Santana like wrestling someone, and then all of a sudden, like he's in my match, sort of giving me direction. I'm like, okay, this is very interesting. Um, so like, yeah, it's just the strangest feeling, and I think it's like the only sort of thing out there that where just a average guy can be wrestling someone who was on TV for however many years, 20 years, however long he was on TV. And I think we're in Collingwood, maybe. I don't remember where, but like it was like he's just in Collingwood, Ontario. I'm like, here he is, just like punching me. I'm like, this is the weirdest thing ever.
It's certainly a surreal world, to be sure. Now, I am going to go back a little bit because I would love to discuss a few things about your emigration to Canada, because obviously, in case you couldn't tell, listeners, from the thick accent, our boy Cadman ain't from around here, or at least wasn't from around here when he first got to Rock Solid Wrestling. You came from Australia.
Yes.
And a lot of people would imagine that there would be a little bit of not necessarily culture shock, but the first thing I think of is weather shock to Canada. And you did talk earlier about going to a lot of remote northern towns on Rock Solid Wrestling tours. So people are going to want to know, how did you react to that at first? And, did you have to make any major adjustments?
Yeah, like the cold is nothing you can prepare for. Um, like now I'm used to it. I've been here for nearly 9 years now. So, um, but yeah, the first sort of winter that you run into, and it's like it's minus 20, wind is blowing. You're like, what the hell is going on? Like, how is anyone functioning? Funny story, before we came over, I actually thought people walked around town, like downtown, in like snow pants. I didn't realize people could just wear like jeans. But I actually thought people were in snow pants. And then we get there because I was like, I'm gonna freeze to death in these jeans, and then it turns out it's fine. But but yeah, like it's weird and obviously when you're on these drives up north, it gets sketchy at times. it's dark, and then there's a whiteout happening, and then you have to take a leak. You fall in like 2 feet of snow, like on the side of the road, and uh, if you like that happened a couple times. Got out of the car and just stepped into like it was a like an embankment on the side of the road. Didn't see it obviously because it's full of snow and just went straight down. So um, it's yeah, it's just all these different experiences of like coming over. And once again, wrestling, I think it was deep down it was. So wrestling was probably the reason why we came. Um, but obviously to swing the deal with my then girlfriend, uh, was hey, we'll go for an experience, but like in the back of my mind, I'm like, we're just going out for wrestling. So it's like the fact that it brought me here and like now I live here with my 2 kids is uh is crazy. So but the winter, yeah, the winters are no joke. So it's funny. Obviously, a lot of Australians like filter in because of the Commonwealth. So it's always funny like getting their experience of the first winter. Like, how is it? And they're like, it's cold. Like it's freezing. Especially the guys from like Perth and all that sort of stuff. Where Perth, it's 30 degrees in the winter. So where obviously they don't experience any kind of winter.
Are you, is there a small sense of pride to see, since you have come over, the explosion of Australian talent that has been recognized as main event stars and big time players in the world of professional wrestling at large? It feels like for the last couple of years, Australia has been kind of like taking over the global wrestling scene. Does that give you a little bit of pride?
It's cool because, well, now, like, obviously, because I haven't been in Australia for quite a while, but for a moment there, like every time you turned on the TV, it was somebody I personally knew, um, which was doing two things. But like I was very happy for it, but then also like, why the hell am I not there? But maybe I'm not good enough. So you did two things, but it was so weird. It once again, everything's weird. It's like this is a girl that I wrestled with when she was 17, and now she's a world champion. So it's very it's yeah, once again, it's all surreal. And that's the thing with wrestling. Obviously, there's so many wrestlers in the world, but somehow we all do have a chance. There is a chance. It might be small, especially nowadays the way it is, but there is a chance that anyone could actually make it. Which is obviously why there's so many people doing it. But there's only so many spots in Rock Solid, any of the big companies, like any of the like the global companies. There's only so many spots for guys or girls to get on, um, and that's the reality of it. Unfortunately, not everyone gets a turn.
Absolutely. And you did say that there are only so many spots in Rock Solid Wrestling. Now that may be true, but I do want to stress there will always be a spot for Big Country if he ever
Get me
decided
on. This is
to
on you, Adam. Get me on. I'll
to
come
come
back. Like
back.
I'm semi-retired now, but like if Rock Solid call, I'll come.
Open door, sir. You just show up, man. I'll tell you. You've got your name on my list. You can come anytime. No problem.
I'll just turn up in my jeans and cowboy hat. I'll be good to
Just do the little dancer and they'll book you in the main. You know
go.
that. Where did that dance come from? I think everyone wants to know that.
That was from a tryout that I did. So Regal was there. William Regal was there, and everyone was doing like the serious, it was the promo segment of the tryout, and everyone was doing the serious promos, like like I need this. This is my life. Blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna go to the funny route. Like I'm just gonna try to be funny here. So then I start like pretending that like I was the my gimmick was I was a cowboy from outback Australia. And nobody in the US or Canada sort of knew that existed. But I'm like, I'm a real cowboy, see it? And I just started dancing randomly. And like William Regal was like dying. Like he thought it was hilarious. And then I saw him again, I don't know, a year later in England. And he goes, "Oh yeah, you're the Outback Cowboy." I'm like, "Yeah, yeah. You didn't give me a job, but yeah, that's me."
Well, I mean, look, clearly you made an impression on the guy,
I
right?
did.
Like, if he remembered you, that's half the battle.
That is, and that's sometimes all it is. And like that's when like at that period of time is when I had the momentum, and that's when everything was like moving and like I was in fantastic shape and bookings, all that sort of stuff. And then that's when COVID sort of happened right around that time, and it's like it just takes that, it just took that momentum, and like the amount of work that I put in when COVID ended, like I was probably 30, so I still had plenty of time, like plenty of time to do it, but like realistically to get back to where I was, I would have had to put in like 2 hard years of like grinding again, getting back in the spot and all that sort of stuff, and that's just where I just wasn't there, I wasn't there mentally to sort of go through that at that time, so. I just take bookings where people want me now. So, like I said, rock solid. If you want me, I'll come back.
I certainly would like to have you back, and we will have to have you back because there's the bell. The 20-minute time limit has elapsed. Cadman, it's a draw. But, that just means we'll have to have you back on the show again, which I would love to do. And hopefully we'll be, talking about maybe some potential future with Rock Solid at least. I know I keep pushing this, and I have no authority whatsoever to be doing
Who do
this.
you know? Who do you know there?
I'm just a fan. That's all it is. Man, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me today. This has been such a wonderful journey catching up with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's been fun.